You can't claim pain and suffering unless you suffered an impact. If you and I are standing on a corner, and me and you are brothers, and our dad is driving in a car right in front of us, and all of a sudden a big truck comes in and hits him. The shrapnel from the crash hits you, but doesn't hit me. I do not have a case because I wasn't impacted. It's called the impact rule. You, though, have a case. And your case can be for your personal injuries, for whatever that metal hitting you, which probably isn't much, but you can have a case for your pain and suffering by having to watch your dad pass away in the crash. So if I blow smoke in your face, that is a physical impact. In that situation, you can get pain and suffering. I'm the worst with contracts because I actually read them. It makes anyone I travel with very upset. So like I land in a city and I need a rental car. They say, sign this. If you flip that paper over, that is the entire rental car agreement. And if you read it, it says some crazy stuff. My favorite is you won't drive out of the state. I'm like, I'm gonna drive out of the state. One I read said, if you have a problem and you have to sue us, you will sue us in California. It's called a choice of venue provision. Like, I'm not going to California to sue you. So what I do is I take a pen and I just cross things off and then initial it and then flip it back over and sign a hand it to them. No one has ever said a word to me. And then people that I'm with are like, oh, I can't believe he's doing that, you know. Make them stop. I spend my time sitting outside at my house. I'm currently watching Game of Thrones. I know I'm behind. I watched the Dragon one the other night, the first 3 episodes. I'm still trying to figure that out. I like to go anywhere where there's water. I like long walks on the beach. I like to eat. I've started to cook. My version of cook is grill, so I count grilling as cooking. Other people in the office would disagree. F you guys. And then there's a 5-year-old and a 9-year-old running around in my house, making sure they're not destroying the world. Before every trial, we ask the judge to prevent the defense from saying or comparing the case to a lottery. Jackpot justice is the phrase. It's not a jackpot, it's not a lottery. No, you can't take off my arm and give me a couple $1 million because that's all the insurance money there was. Frankly, you couldn't give me any money to lose my arm or have a brain injury or need spine surgery. There's not a dollar figure out there. What lottery are you winning? When you win the lottery, you just gain money. In our world, you've lost something pretty bad. Truth is, mediation usually isn't your choice. A judge is almost certainly going to make you mediate. So you're gonna get a court order that says go to mediation, and you're gonna have to mediate. It's something you typically wanna do. Like we had a mediation the other day where we didn't think we would settle the case, and we didn't. But what we learned at mediation will help us at a trial. The problem with mediation is you don't know why the other side is there. Are they there to settle the case, like you are? Or are they there to waste your time a little bit, figure out what's going on in the case, see if you'll take a really lowball offer and bother your client who kind of has to sit there and just wait. We have a client right now who was on a movie set and he paints things for movie sets. And he was painting the ceiling of this food court in a mall and he grabbed some wires that were supposed to be cut off, but they weren't, and he got shocked. He has a problem speaking right now. So there's some sort of issue preventing him from being able to speak. We don't think it's a physical problem. We actually think it's something that's psychological. It doesn't matter what the cause of your injury is. He's injured. He's very seriously injured. I wouldn't want his injury. When he goes to the store or goes to a restaurant, he can't order food. He's embarrassed. Electrical company saying somebody else must have changed something after we left. You know, the movie's saying we didn't do anything. It was up to the electrical company. So a lot of finger pointing going on. I am not a morning person. The only thing that would scare somebody in my office is if I'm there before 8 o'clock. I think there's like this stigma that if you're not up really early and you're not working really hard at the crack of dawn, like you're not gonna be successful. No. If I get up really early in the morning, I'm just a cranky asshole. So I roll into work, I'm probably the latest one who gets here. I stay the latest because that's when I prefer to work. If I'm here in the office before 8 o'clock, somebody's like, are you okay? What's going on? We also had a joke for a while. We had to let some people go over the years. By chance, it was always days that somebody had brought donuts to the office. It wasn't intentional. It was just for 3 people that we had to let go, there were donuts. So right now, if I walked into my office with a 14 pack of donuts, somebody'd be like, oh shit. Other lawyers in my office have different skill set. Alan, we call him Dr. Allen, because at this point, I think he could be a doctor. He knows more about the medical science of orthopedic surgeries and other things we see routinely with clients. He knows more about them than I think anyone else who doesn't have an MD. Alex in my office, if you wanna find something, doesn't matter what it is. If you wanna find out where somebody lives, talk to someone, learn a fact, anything that involves investigation, all day, every day. Like, I'm afraid what he knows about me. Found a witness in the Dominican Republic. She wouldn't respond to us, so he made an order on her Instagram. And then when she mailed the order, he returned the order with a letter in it and said, here's who I am, please call me. Who in the world would have thought of that? I'll give you 2 things about the big mass advertisers. We need them in this industry. I'm not taking a case where somebody gets rear-ended in a crash, maybe goes to the chiropractor, and then is okay in a month. I'm not gonna take that case. Does that person have a case? Yeah. Who can take that case? A large advertising firm with churn and burn system. And that's okay in those cases. People need that. 1 call, that's all. If your case is worth 1 call, call Ken. But if your case is worth more than 1 call, call me. If I only make 1 call to a client, there's something wrong. You know, the cases that we have, we make way more than one call and we expect to get back way more than one call. My client is walking down a street and falls into a hole. The defense said, that's your client's fault because she was on a phone, walking, texting, and she wasn't looking where she was going. If you ask somebody who is 50 years or older and say, hey, is it appropriate to walk and text? And if you get hurt, is that your fault? I think most people would say in that age group, it's totally your fault. If you go to younger people though, and you say, hey, do you text and walk? Yeah, all the time. Using that as an example, what's the reasonable person? Does the reasonable person walk and text at the same time and not necessarily pay attention to where they're going? Or does the reasonable person walk straight ahead, make sure you see where you're going? The reasonable person changes over time. And that's a lot of times why we need juries. You know, you need a jury to tell you what's reasonable and what's not based on those 12 people. I will try to reason and logic with a 5-year-old. Like, I understand you're tired. Don't you know you're tired? What do we do when we get tired? What will make us feel better going to sleep? I know. Your leg doesn't hurt. You don't need water. I know, don't worry, the boogeyman's not gonna come. But if we go to sleep, we'll feel better, won't we? And you get to that point where you've built up the logic and then they go, yeah, but I'm not gonna do that. Lawyer's supposed to do 3 things: win your case and get you as much money as possible, make you feel good through the process and keep you informed, and help you save that money. I mean, keep as much money as you can. So we get a client $2 million, and that's their share of the money. I wanna save them on medical bills. I wanna negotiate their medical bills as best I can. So instead of owing $500,000 in medical bills, they only pay $400,000. I also wanna set them up to succeed. You know, with minor children, there's a safeguard that there has to be a plan in place. For older folks who have been around the block, they're usually halfway decent with money and at least know they need the help. It's the people in the middle. You know, it's my 25-year-old client who gets $2 million in his pocket. Those are the ones I'm worried about, and that's where you get in trouble, is that you think that you're gonna somehow get that money over and over. We try to set clients up, we beg if we have to, for clients to go see the right kinds of people and make sure that their money's gonna be there when they need it. Could the plaintiff have avoided this? I wanna represent a plaintiff who didn't do anything wrong, or didn't do anything that was unreasonable, or could be second guessed. It's like zip lining in Costa Rica. The dude's high as shit that's putting on the thing. Like, you're probably gonna get hurt. The trampoline park, if they know there's a problem with one of the trampolines and they don't tell you about it, or they know the trampolines are throwing smaller kids too high and they're getting hurt. You know, the whole idea is you need to know the risks. Now, if you didn't know all the risks, they didn't tell you, hey, trampoline 7 is gonna catapult you to the sky and you're gonna probably break your arm. Steven did that last week. Then we're in a different world. I have a client right now who believes 100 million% that XYZ happened. It wasn't XYZ, it was XMZ. A little difference, and that's fine. It's my job to make sure that when the client tells that story, he says, that's what I think. I may be wrong. I will stand up in the opening statement and say to the jury, my client's gonna tell you this story. This is what he believes. That story's wrong. We're gonna show you what actually happened, even though he thinks something else happened. But regardless of what the truth is, whether this happened or this happened, our clients should still win. You gotta be real and you have to confront problems in your case. My friends have been asking me what these videos are gonna be about. And true to form, I told them they're gonna be about me and whatever I wanna talk about. And that's gonna be about being a lawyer, about owning a business, about helping other lawyers and helping injured people, maybe about cooking and dogs and whatever else I wanna talk about. But my goal here is to educate you, tell you what I know, tell you what other people are telling you when it's wrong, and make you laugh, make you have fun, and maybe make you watch another video. My name is Mike Rathey. I help injured people, and I'm here to help you.